Seventh Adventist Church, beloved of the Seventh Adventist Church, this is a very urgent message. A very urgent message called The Sons of Our President Part 14. The Sons of Our President Part 14. Now here recently, the United States Congress is trying to pass a bill restricting gun rights. They're trying to say that if you own a gun and you let your friend use the gun to hunt, you can get a $100,000 fine and 5 years in prison. And they're also trying to say that if you try to testify about being gunned down and guns protecting you in Congress, that you can't testify because they're trying to save life through gun control legislation. So they're trying to take away First Amendment rights and Second Amendment rights for that matter. Then they're trying to repeal the Johnson Amendment by giving churches more power to lobby Congress to pass their laws supporting church rights issues. So with the church and state uniting, with the church controlling the state, just like Great Controversy says in a chapter called The Impending Conflict. When the leading churches of our nation uniting upon common points of doctrine, which are held by them in common shall influence the state to enforce their dogmas, and we shall see the lying powers of Satan. That's the image of the beast right there, beloved. Then we see, beloved in the Adventist Church, the third temple trying to be built over in Jerusalem. Donald Trump has made Jerusalem Israel's capital. He's recognized Jerusalem as Israel's capital through the apostate Protestant minister John Hagee and the evangelicals who are supporting Donald Trump's administration, calling him the new Nebuchadnezzar of this day, to fulfill the prophecies of the third temple being built in Jerusalem. It's a famous apostate Baptist theology that's coming out in this day, beloved in the Adventist Church. Then we see the Parkland shooting and the massacre over in the mall over in Las Vegas. All these types take away gun rights and all different type of rights in this country. Then we see if Donald Trump is shot by the Jesuits and the Masons, Mike Pence, who's evangelical Catholic, we see he'll come around and he'll sign Sunday legislation because of climate change legislation being signed, which is actually Sunday legislation through the back door. And we see Esme and Arthur Branner stating and David Gates that this March or April, the Sons Law can be passed based off of climate change legislation. We see that back in September 23rd, 2015, the judge of the living began when the Pope came to America and spoke in two houses of Congress and Philadelphia, trying to bring his Sunday legislation to the back door through climate change legislation. Then we see the women's ordination thing going on in the church, and the General Conference disciplining the apostate North American division and the German divisions for the women's ordination and other issues of such, beloved in the Adventist Church. Then we see many things happening in the church with women's ordination and the Reaping for Tammuz, the Christmas thing that they're doing, and other holidays like Christmas, Easter, Halloween, through calling a fall festival and Easter, and other holidays of such entering into the Adventist Church, which actually is apostate Protestantism through the back door, beloved, which is all the abominations Reaping for Tammuz. Then we see so many things happening in the church and the world. And, Matthew 24 tells us, when all these things shall come to pass, then look up for you and draw off nigh. And Luke 21 also corroborates this testimony as well. Revelation 6 talks about the clouds rolling back like a scroll. And Revelation chapter 14 talks about the 144,000 standing on the sea of glass. 144,000 don't taste death, beloved in the Adventist Church. They have victory over the beast, his image, and his mark. What is the beast? It's a papacy. What is its image? It's apostate, that form of apostate Protestantism, like the evangelical world in league with the U.S. government, like Mike Pence and Donald Trump. The image of the beast and the false prophet, the beast, his image, and his mark. That's enforced Sunday observance, the mark of the beast. That's who they have victory over. And they have victory over sin as well, beloved in the Adventist Church. We need to pray that we're a part of the 104,000, that we do not give in to the sons of our president, Donald Trump and Mike Pence in his last days. And so we need to pray that we're true and faithful, and we're able to get the word out in these last days. And we see the freedom of the press being taken away through handing out Great Controversy and other books, in which you have to have a permit, a city permit, every city to hand out these Spirit of Prophecy books because they say that it's soliciting without a permit. So our publishing rights have been taken away in the First Amendment, beloved. A cop stopped me today out there on Evans Boulevard selling books because he said I was impeding traffic. That's another way of trying to get us in these last days to not be able to hand out our literature in the community, beloved. So, beloved, pray that we can have strength to finish the work. Pray that we can overcome sin. Pray that we can be in a vegan diet. Pray that we can listen to good Christian music, wholesome music, and have practice modesty and temperance in all things and sexual purity. And pray that we can be loving toward our enemies, beloved. That's the most important thing. Maranatha, God bless.